Welcome. In this video we are talking how to configure the basic settings of wireless LAN on the wireless LAN controller. So when we're talking about that, we're creating the wireless LAN, we're creating and enabling the wireless LAN, setting up management interfaces, securing it, verifying it, and then monitoring it at a very basic level. So let's jump right into configuration. So addresses have already been assigned to everything. One thing I wanted to point out is, again, understand that we're using Packet Tracer and there are some limitations in Packet Tracer. So the wireless LAN controller has an IP address of 172.16.0.10. The access point is .11. The management workstation is .3. The management server is .2. And the default gateway is .1. So let's go ahead, let's get to our management PC first. One of the things to realize is with the WLCs, we have to do this from a web interface. So navigate to the IP address of the wireless LAN controller. So 172.16.0.10. When you first access it, it's going to go a little slow. Realistically, when you access it even the second time, it's going to go kind of slow. Go ahead and set up a admin username and password. Here we're going to name the controller WLC 01. Set up the management IP, which is the same IP address of this controller. Subnet mask. Set up the gateway. And management VLAN ID 1. 1 is the default option. Network name, we're going to call it Corp. Set up a passphrase. I'm just doing p@sswrd #1 for my passphrase. And we're good there. You can set up a virtual IP address if you want. I'm not using it for this lab, so I'm just going to ignore it. Click apply. It's going to reboot and then it will let us connect again. So one thing to note is when it reboots, HTTP no longer will function. You actually need to modify the URL and put an S there. https:// the wireless LAN controller. And it just takes a minute to restart. If you get the request timeout, the controller is still restarting and it should pop back up. So log into it using the password you set. It's a little slow, so just kind of be wary of that. So go through the settings, make sure everything looks alright. We have one access point, that's true. Some of these features are disabled because it's Packet Tracer, and it will even tell you it's disabled. We have our statistics on our controller, on how many packets it's received, on client information. It's disabled on CDP. Again, it's all disabled. So I want to go to the next tab, which is our wireless LAN tab. We can look at our wireless LAN settings. Clicking on the wireless LAN ID. Here we can set up things like our general SID, security, if there's any access. All of this was set up through the wizard when we first did it. Notice our layer 2 is WPA2. Our controller. One thing that is really weird is within our controller, I'm going to go to interface. You can see the addresses. I'm going to go to management. For whatever reason, it doesn't like being able to set our DHCP server to our management workstation. That's the server, .2. So I'm going to set it there. Click apply. And again, controller. Then get to our general information and then drill down on the management interface, and that's how you can set it. Alright, so we should be good to go. If you mouse over the access point, you'll notice that it's providing LANs, wireless LAN corp, and it has an IP address, and it does. Let's hop over to one of the computers. If we go to PC Wireless, it's really weird, but it doesn't actually connect. This is a bug in Packet Tracer. You need to go to the Configuration tab, and for whatever reason, we need to manually configure this. SSID is going to be corp, WPA2 pre-shared key, I.AES, I turn it on, I turn it off, and it does connect. I'm going to do the same thing for B. Even though the actual wireless card software should work, it's a bug in Packet Tracer, so we have to do this through the Config tab. Corp, set up WPA2 pre-shared key, #1, turn it on, turn it off, turn it back on again, and it connects. And these have been given addresses in our DHCP range. And they both show a wireless data rate and signal strength. This is how to do a basic setup within the limitations of Packet Tracer. In later labs, we're going to be expanding the WLC configuration, but for now, this was just a bare minimum overview of how to do some of the basic setups. If you have any questions or concerns with this material, please reach out. Thank you.